hopefully watched our video of the first test day at Queensland Raceway, and it went really well. The car ran faultlessly all day, minimal problems, and the biggest thing is I learned how to drive the car for the first time with the aero, the slick tyres and the sequential gearbox. And throughout the day we just focused on taking our time, learning how to drive the car, not really focusing on anything else, but learning how to drive with the aero and the slick tyres, that combination, versus what I've driven in the past with the semi-slick tyre. And also learning to get used to the sequential gearbox was quite a luxury coming from Formula Ford, and also learning how to not only set a lap time, but save the tyre and learn how to drive at a pace that's saving the tyre but also consistently fast, because we only get one set of tyres for the weekend, and at high demanding tracks like Sydney Motorsport Park, Tail and Bend, it's going to be crucial that we not only do our quali lap but then learn how to save our tyre for the end of the weekend and for those double point races, and be able to put our best foot forward and not lay on the ground and die. So yeah, it was a really good day, and yeah, looking forward to the next one.
And what, for your first time in the car, what a lot of people don't understand is you don't get to sit in the car and drive around slow to get the feel of it and see what everything does. You sat in the car twice. You sat in the car for seat fitting, and then the second time was with your helmet on. And with these cars, you need to be committed 100%, otherwise the car doesn't work, it doesn't give you the feedback you need. The faster you go, the more grip you got. So how do you get your head around that? From a car you haven't driven sequential, you haven't driven wings and slicks, you haven't driven, you know, that configuration as such. How did you get your head around that initially to get out there and really commit?
Well, obviously the data and the footage that you guys have in the bank was really helped. I watched a few videos from guys like Cameron Shields, John Collins at Queensland Raceway, and it helped that I hadn't probably been there before, because I didn't have anything in my head from previous categories like brake here or turning here. So I could just go out and go, well, this is what I've seen in the video and the data, and go, well, I'll just try braking here and see what happens. And it did what it was, did what it was supposed to do, and then just creeping forward on those markers throughout the day to see what the limit was, and learning to get the understanding through your head, like you said, with the aero. The faster you go, the more grip you've got, and obviously braking in a brake pressure as well in these cars. For example, down the back straight at Queensland Raceway, as long as you're in a straight line, no matter how hard you hit the brakes, they won't lock. So getting my head around that took a few sessions, but by the end of the day I think we had it worked out.
And probably our biggest asset is the data bank we do have, so you can sit down with our data engineer Marcello, and he can sort of explain to you what you need to do and where you need to do it. And then the driver coach, Roman, can come in and explain how you go about doing the process. So surrounding yourself with a team is critical, and you've certainly gelled well with the team, and it really looks like you're getting the results.
Yeah, guys like Roman, he's got a lot of experience, and he's very, very wise guy, so he's very good with the mental side of things. Just make sure you take your time, do the lap in your head, make sure you don't fire it off in the first session. For example, at a race meeting, the first session's about just building up, and he's obviously very good because he's got a lot of experience overseas and in Formula 3. He's been doing Formula 3 for quite a long time within a range of different cars and teams, so he's got a lot of knowledge, which is very helpful. And then Marcello being able to back that up with the data and the footage has been really helpful. Obviously he can analyse and overlay data with guys like Chris Gilmour, as he was there on the day, so we could overlay my lap with his lap and see where I can improve, and sometimes even where Chris can improve to me. So data is really helpful to maximise your performance, because the car's already there, so it's just about getting the most out of yourself as a driver and being able to perform at your best.
And we've really laid into you about your fitness and neck strength, upper body strength, and even the leg strength to get the brake pressures you need. How did you pull up after your first time in the car?
First test day wasn't too bad. I definitely went back knowing I could improve a little bit on the neck and the upper body strength. But we went back, we worked at it, and there was quite a large improvement, I believe, to the next time I got in the car. So It's definitely a large step for Formula 3 compared to other categories because of you've got the slick tyres, the downforce, it's a lot of force, like you said, the neck, the upper body, especially through the long flowing corners like Turn 1, 2, Queensland Raceway, even tracks like the Bend and Sydney Motorsport Park, it can probably be a challenge, so making sure you've got neck strength and upper body strength and the endurance to go the long distance in the races is very crucial.
It is very, you know, physical strength is very critical. If you ever get to the point where you feel tired, it's over, it's done. So yeah, to be able to operate in those high G-force environments, with the heat of the car, you're sitting between two radiators, it does get quite warm, so it is very tough. But what else was tough was, it's your first time in the car, there's big expectations, there's a lot of pressure, everybody's watching, and ultimately everything you've done in your career has led to this point. So how did you go with the psychological pressure, I guess?
It can be at sometimes hard to deal with, but like, you know, as Roman has now taught me and yourself, if you're focusing on that, you're not focusing at the job at hand. So if you're worrying about that before you go out for a race, for instance, or a qualifying session, in that race or session, you make mistakes and it's over. You can go out and you might stall, or you might, you know, not do the best lap of your ability, and then it's a lot of hard work for the rest of the weekend. So you just got to learn to focus on something else instead of focusing on that, and the results will come, and hopefully you do the best job you can.
But ultimately now we've got your first drive out of the way, so it's onwards and upwards from here. We've got another test day in a couple of days. We've always got room to improve. If we don't, we're not looking hard enough. So stay tuned for the next video.